Hello and welcome back to Old Truthford, the home of honestly biased sports content. How are we doing, folks? How is everyone feeling tonight? Now, obviously, we've lost to Arsenal. Obviously, we don't have too much good news if anyone's been keeping up with the latest transfer news. But yeah, we're still here. We're still reporting on Manchester United's transfer news. And let's see how we go. Ethan, I see you, mate. How you doing? Truthfordians. Watching the Madrid Osasuna match. Lovely stuff. Now, some people would say that the truth is that Man United have not been good. And Man United suck. Some people would say that. However, I'm here to tell you, gentlemen, we are on the journey to winning a Premier League title for the first time in 13 odd years under Ruben Amorim. If you haven't already, drop a like on the stream and subscribe. If you are new, we are going to be going live every single night covering the latest Manchester United updates. But let's go straight into it. So, hi, how you doing, man? Good to see you. God willing. Oh, right, says Frank Pinter. Yeah, I don't know if we can get away with that. Vivek, 25 mil for Garnacho. It's a madness, mate. It's a madness. I don't understand. I think Chelsea needs to give their head a wobble. Are they nuts? They've got to be. They've absolutely got to be. So, yeah, just on what Vivek said there, Sky reporter, is it, how do you say his name? Like Cavith? Something like that? Came out. Let me see if I can get the exact report. So he has come out and he has said Sky Cava. So Cava Solicoli? I don't know how to say that name. Anywho, the chief correspondent for Sky Sports and Sky Sports News has literally come out saying that Chelsea believe Alejandro Garnacho is worth around £25 million. I mean, earlier on in the window, it was reportedly 30 million, and people were laughing them out the door. Now, apparently, Chelsea believe Garnacho is worth £25 million. Lads, I'm sorry, but if we do not get an overall package worth around 50 mil for Garnacho at the minimum, as a minimum, then, bruh, 25 million quid. That guy is dumb. A left back we didn't want and sold for pennies, started for Madrid this evening. How's Alvaro? Is it, what's his last name? Is it Fernandez? How's Fernandez doing for Real Madrid, Ethan? Do not trust him. Chelsea values him at 25 mil and he wants to go to them. Always knew he had no dignity. Well, realistically, at the end of the day, they're going to have to pay our price. Otherwise, Garnacho is just going to rot on the bench. So, Garnacho better be getting his agent on the phone. And just like Ruben Amorim said to him, you better have a good effing agent because otherwise you are going to be stranded here. So, yeah, the agent has to agree with Chelsea the fee that Manchester United are going to pay for him. That Manchester United are going to receive from Chelsea. And I'm not going to lie, I'm expecting at least 50 mil. If we get less than 50 mil, then we've been absolutely done with this transfer. So let's see how good Ineos's work is going to come into fruition. He didn't want to stay in United and move on. Pay the 50 mil or jog on, let him rot in the reserves. Amen, Ethan. Decent so far. Okay. He's out of Argentina squad as well. Another freedom fighter down the drain. Literally, he's just going to be watching football on a screen if he doesn't actually fix up Alejandro Garnacho. So I'm hoping for his sake anyway he realizes the error of his ways and can at least force a move out with his agent. But let's go over the latest transfer news, lads. So, starting off, late last night, it was reported that Galatasaray have submitted an official offer for Diogo Costa worth 20 million euros plus add-ons. And yeah, the entire United Twitter fan base seemed to be all over this with Diogo Costa, saying that, okay, he's only 20 million euros, we should buy him, we need to bring him in, we need to get him, we need to be all over this. But if I'm being honest with you, lads, I don't particularly rate Diogo Costa that highly, given the fact that when we have played him, he was making Onana-esque errors. So, like, it's not as though he's a guaranteed keeper when he comes in. So I'm a bit worried with Diogo Costa. I don't know if we are going to go in for him. There have been reports today that Manchester United will not even be in the market for a goalkeeper for the remainder of the transfer window. So yeah, it's not looking good. Emiliano Martinez is the only way. We don't have the money for Martinez, or we just don't need to get a goalkeeper. I don't know if that's United trying to play a trick on the market to get a goalkeeper on the cheap, but there's a lot of reports coming out that United are not prioritising a goalkeeper, especially from Alex Crook of TalkSport, who is a fairly reliable source. Pay 30 million and bring him here, says Vivek. He's better than Onana. You're wrong, admin. Nav is better than Onana. He's a brilliant shot stopper. I want to know how much he's paying Fabrizio because he posts about him every second. Garnacho. Yeah. Well, we all know for a fact that these players, or the clubs, like, pay Fabrizio Romano for good coverage, surely. That's not even in I don't know. That's not even in a disagreement or anything like that. I think everyone can unanimously agree that Fabrizio does that. And a penalty saver. Show me the money. Big mistake. What's a big mistake, Frank? But yeah, let's see what other news has come out from today regarding Manchester United. Just scrolling down the timeline now. Literally every single account that I follow has been saying that we should go in for Diogo Costa. Everyone seems to be desperate to go in for him, but maybe there's a reason he's going for such a low price. Maybe he isn't all of that. Having Sunday roast with wine and not beer, big mistake. Why was that a big mistake, Vivek? What's wrong with a good old glass of rosé every now and then, you know, man? Okay, what else? What else has happened here then? Okay, so we are 15th in the league right now, which isn't ideal. I mean, it's kind of giving me PTSD flashbacks from last season. Just trying to see. I haven't had time to pull them all into a doc, so I am just literally going along the timeline, seeing what's come up. So AS Roma are not giving up on signing Jadon Sancho. AS Roma and Leon Bailey will try to convince him to join them. Okay, Leon Bailey, Agent Bailey, coming in to convince Jadon Sancho to join Roma. I mean, I hope that they can convince him, because that saves us a heck of a lot of money and brings in 20 million, which would be the price that Chelsea were originally going to pay for Sancho before they decided to pay not to sign him, which is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah. True, Vivek, that's heresy. Guys, did you see the De Gea rumours, or is it just me? Oh God, don't get me started on De Gea rumours. I've not seen any of them, but let me know what's going around. I think if it's saying that De Gea's coming back to United, that's just it's not happening. It's not happening. Bane Deer distribution was good. Just saying, I agree, Vivek. That is one of the comments I made on last night's stream. I did say that Bane Deer did find Mason Mount a few times, and I think his distribution was good. But the problem is, any shot on target from our opponents is almost bound to go in. So we need to kind of avoid that if we can. We need to change up the goalkeeper, 100%, Frank. Weak fist. Sunday roast on a Tuesday. I like it. Another big mistake, trying to sign Sancho. Genuine question, what is Sancho trying to accomplish here? What Sancho's trying to accomplish, Ethan, because he's already admitted that his career's gone down the drain. He doesn't care about playing for England. He doesn't care about this. He doesn't care about that at this point. All Sancho's trying to accomplish is to get a massive payout from Manchester United. So Indy Kaler, one of the top tier journalists from this window, has come out and said that the reason why Sancho will not join AS Roma is because he wants a big payout from United for him to go and move to another club. Whereas United just aren't going to do that. So, yeah, Sancho's probably wanting to stay at United on his 300k a week or whatever wages he's on. And yeah, just let his career burn until he's a free agent and then probably move to Saudi, is my guess. That's how I see it going with Sancho, unless somebody close to him or like his family or something like that can get in his ear and say, you know, you're going to regret this, right? Like, you're not playing football, you're not doing this, but, you know, it's one of those. Is Sancho trying to crash the subscribe blimp? I mean, I certainly hope not. That thing is absolutely indestructible. And if you think that's indestructible, Frank, look at these bad boys. I mean, one day, the blimp is going to see these glow sticks and think that I'm signaling the blimp over to me and then it's just going to crash through the window. But hopefully today is not that day. We will be celebrating and hosting a glow stick party when Jadon Sancho is officially sold, though. So be sure to stay subscribed to the Old Truthford YouTube channel and stay in touch. What else do we have here? Who cares if a keeper can pass, lol? Ours can't keep the ball out of the back of the net. Show me the money. That's it. Exactly, Ethan. Sancho needs to switch up to rapping with Depay, since that's what it looks like he's passionate about now. Honestly, it's just effing cringe, man. I just don't understand. This is one of the things with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that I will not forgive, because he brought Jadon Sancho to the club. Like, I expect better from Ole. I mean, Ole, literally from a school of Sir Alex Ferguson, he was so adamant on psychologically profiling players before they came over to the club. And the fact that bloody Ole is responsible for signing Jadon Sancho. And as soon as he joined as well, reports were coming out that, oh yeah, he likes to stay up late, playing bloody Xbox games this, Xbox games that. Like, how could Ole not see that that was a terrible decision to make? But folks, if you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to the Old Truthford YouTube channel for the latest and greatest Manchester United content. Glow sticks should be red, admin. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think if they were red, it might look like the devil's kind of doing something else, if you know what I mean. Join the dark side. I feel like Sancho is more Woodward's fault than Ole. I don't know. Ole seemed pretty adamant on getting him. That's why we waited for him for 2 summers. I don't know. I don't know about that. Whose hands are those? Is that Nav? Nav? What? What hands? But lads, let's carry on with the latest and greatest Manchester United news. So, Indicala, as I just said, reported yesterday full payout needed from Man United before Sancho moves anywhere. Apparently, God. What else do we have? Casemiro to United. Here we go. Was 3 years ago today. It's crazy that Casemiro's been here for 3 years. It's one of those things that you see and you think like, does that feel like it was ages ago? Does it feel like it was just yesterday? I feel like it was just yesterday that Casemiro signed for Manchester United, but then at the same time it feels like we've been through about 10 different lifetimes of Manchester United fans during that period. I mean, we've won 2 trophies, almost got relegated, lost a final to Spurs. It's been a very weird past 3 years when Casemiro has been at the club. What about Camavinga? What's going on about Camavinga? Nav is somewhere doing Nav things, whatever those things might be. Nav indeed. Nav indeed. Do you Nav the way? Is that a real thing? Is what a real thing? Honestly, Ole got a bad eye for players. I mean, the guy was praising Fred and playing him every game like he was Patrick Vieira. I mean, to be fair, Ole did do something which not a lot of managers have done with United. I mean, he bought in Dan James for like 20 mil and then we ended up selling him for 45. So that doesn't really happen all that often with Manchester United. So you got to give Ole credit for that. But actually making profit on a player. What else do we have? So Atalanta continue to follow Rasmus Højlund's situation and have given consideration to bringing him back. Oh wow, what a fall from grace. Going from Atlanta to Manchester United back to Atalanta. That is, I don't think Højlund's going to do that. Laurie Whitwell has come out today saying that there is an appreciation for Morten Hjulmand. Adam Wharton is a name who could come into the reckoning. United will carefully weigh up whether to spend more money at a time when they need to make sales. So, yeah, it does feel like there's been a bit of a freeze on United's transfer business, if I'm being honest, lads. I haven't seen any strong links to us and any players for, it's got to be a week at this point. And it's frustrating that like the next game isn't, it's frustrating that the next game is so far away. Like that is one of the negatives when it comes to this as well, because a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, the players are going to have more time to prepare themselves for the games. We can be more physically fit, all of this sort of stuff. But then at the same time, it's like, if we lose, then we have to pretty much wait an entire week to see us win again. It's a very long period of time that the players and the fans have to sit with a loss. Xabi Alonso's football is shears. Madrid look boring. Xabi Alonso seems like one of those like football hipster managers that obviously a lot of young fans would rave about, but then he's missing something at Real Madrid. I think he might be missing something. Who knows? Could prove me wrong, but I've always had a feeling that Alonso isn't gonna light the world on fire at Madrid. Wharton will be grossly overpriced. Yeah, realistically, Wharton's only going to be like 10, 20 mil cheaper than Baleba. I wouldn't be surprised if we sell Garnacho for decent money, we sell Sancho, maybe Højlund as well, and then we just say to Brighton, okay, we'll give you 120 mil, give us Baleba. I still wouldn't be surprised to see that happen, but it entirely depends on if United think that'll damage their relationship with Brighton in the future. Who knows? The Rodrigo disrespect is crazy. Starting Brahim Diaz ahead of him is diabolical. Yeah, Rodrigo's supposedly going to be leaving Real Madrid, I believe. I've seen a few rumours about that. He's wasting what he has on the field with this squad. We still need to sell 5 players. What about Gyökeres? What about him, Frank? Go on. Let us know your thoughts. What do you think about Gyökeres? Obviously, reports came out about Xerxes potentially going to Napoli. Fabrizio Romano has come out today, this morning, saying Manchester United consider Xerxes not for sale this summer. Decision made by the board and Ruben Amorim months ago. Never in talks with any Italian clubs, as we all knew. But yeah, as Laurie Whitwell's saying, I mean, Manchester United will carefully weigh the pros and cons before spending more money. And the recruitment of a midfielder is not guaranteed. So that means that we could literally not sign any more players. Do I think that Manchester United will not sign any more players? No. I do think that we will sign more players. But it's coming out, again, I don't know if it's a tactic from the club. I don't know if it's the journalists just sharing what the club want them to share. But I just don't think... I don't think we're done in the transfer market, but it's coming across that way. What else does it say here? So Carlos Baleba presented a special opportunity for Man United, and making a move for another midfielder is not guaranteed. Ugh, God. United are insisting Jadon Sancho to find a solution and leave the club as soon as possible. United are aware of Sancho's plan to consider other proposals after rejecting AS Roma on Monday. I think he is literally just waiting for Saudi. I think Sancho is waiting for Saudi to come in. And this is even more worrying. So from Nathan Salt of Mail Sport, he has come out and said, goalkeeper isn't a priority position to strengthen this summer. Suggestions of Donnarumma were quickly shut down as he isn't being pursued. But again, I don't believe that report from Nathan Salt, because we've literally heard Fabrizio Romano say that Ruben Amorim's after a midfielder and a goalkeeper so many times. So I would be shocked. I would be shocked to my core if we do not get a goalkeeper or a midfielder. Arsenal bought Gyökeres and ended up with Rasmus 2.0. We need Baleba. We need a goalkeeper ASAP. Amorim can work with him and he can perform. I think it could be worth a chance, but it's going to cost us. Frank, I don't think we can... Are you talking about Baleba or are you talking about Gyökeres? Because I don't think we can sign Gyökeres now. What else do we have? So... this is another report today. I don't know how reliable the sources are or if it's got legs, but United are supposedly going for Sevilla's midfielder, Lucien Agomi, who has a 35 million release clause. Sevilla won't let him leave for less than £26 million. Again, don't know too much about the player. Don't know if this is reliable, but let's have a quick look at some of his stats and see if he's a reliable player for us in the future. Okay, so his stats, defensive stats. Oh, he doesn't win a lot of duels. No, that I don't know about this guy. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. So let's look at his stats last season. He's in the top 80-90%. We're talking about Lucien Agumi, the Sevilla midfielder, 23-year-old midfielder, but we have been linked to today. I mean, he's not going to provide goals. He's not going to provide too many assists. His pass accuracy is not very good. Nah, I wouldn't. I'd avoid that guy, if I'm being honest. Tackles won, 45.7%, putting him in the bottom 10%. Now, we need a ball winner. We need a ball winner in the midfield. Do not like that. Do not like that link whatsoever. Okay, so yeah, Laurie Whitwell did say, as matters stand, pursuing a new number one goalkeeper is not on the cards for Manchester United. We are going to be waiting for a new goalkeeper until maybe the next transfer window. He has a release clause, so it's never going to happen, but we need something to shake things up. I mean, to be honest, Frank, we've got Šeško, mate. Šeško will come good. I swear every striker that came out of the Portuguese league, João Felix, Darwin Núñez, and now it seems Victor, they all flop. I mean, it's way too early to say that Gyökeres is a flop. I mean, way, way, way too early. I think he really I think he had a stinker. Don't get me wrong. I think he had a stinker in the first match of the season, but I've still got faith in Gyökeres having a semi-decent season. I don't think it's possible to go from a bloody 60 goal a season player to a complete flop. I think he'll still get goals. Niche fan could see him, man. Yoker flop. Laurie Whitwell also came out today, reporting with MJ Critchley, that's Mark Critchley of The Athletic, saying the decision to bring on Manuel Ugarte before Kobbie Mainoo again on Sunday underlined concerns over whether he has a place in Ruben Amorim's long-term plans. But I think, personally, it's not a case of Amorim choosing Ugarte over Mainoo. I think he may have picked him for that moment, but I think after seeing how Ugarte performed in that game against Arsenal, we are going to see Mainoo come off the bench a bit more frequently now because, Ugarte didn't really provide much when he came on, did he? We've also had a report saying the deal, just on Emi Martinez, the deal was very close, Emi Martinez to Manchester United. The coaching staff, especially Amorim, wanted him, and Martinez knew that Amorim wanted him. Amorim could not convince the United board that it was important to spend on a good goalkeeper. Oh, okay, that's interesting. That's from a good source as well. So a good source is saying that Amorim couldn't convince the United board to sign a goalkeeper. Maybe Amorim kind of wants Bayindir to stay in goal and make mistakes so that he can keep looking at the board and say, I told you, we need a better goalkeeper. And yeah. Flopperez, like it, I'm a flop. Flopper goalkeeper. Flopper him. Guys, what is going on? What is going on in the chat? Let's see. So, obviously we know Hjulmand, we know Wharton are appreciated in the midfield positions. Alas, they are not here yet. Any other further news? It's getting dry. I'm not going to lie. The transfer news is getting dry for United. Gary Neville has backed the idea of getting a goalkeeper, saying, I think United will get a goalkeeper, and you've got those players up front with that back line. Also, no UCL or Europa League football. I think Man United will surprise a few people. I do not think we're going to surprise the league if we don't get a goalkeeper. I mean, we do not, Onana is arguably Premier League level. Maybe not bloody Champions League level, but arguably Premier League level. Bayindir is definitely not a Premier League level goalkeeper. I'm sorry, guys. He's still relatively young. I think he's like 28, 27, but he is not a Premier League level goalkeeper. Emiliano Martinez, he's going to cost us around 30 mil, which if we do go in for him, then we should have... We should also pay the money for Donnarumma if that's the case, because I do think Donnarumma is a better goalkeeper than Martinez. Oh my god, United Strand is still going. This poor man.
111, 132.
His hair
5
is...
games in a row. Day 1, day 14. Day
His
19,
hair knows
day
no
22,
bounds.
Day 25,
It's ridiculous. What other news do we have for you? So Jadon Sancho spotted outside Carrington yesterday taking pictures with fans. I don't know what fans would want a photo with Jadon Sancho. He is literally holding the club to ransom. I understand it's a little kid with a photo of him, but come on. Says, I don't want Donnarumma just because he was the Champions League Keeper of the Year. It just brings a bad flashback. Onana's giving us PTSD out here. Donnarumma would kill the wage structure. I reckon we could get him on for good wages. I think he wants that Premier League move. Real are selling Camavinga for Baleba, I reckon. Doubt it. Doubt it very much so. Also, I'd be pissed if Brighton give Baleba to Real Madrid. Because, I mean, they've literally told us he's not for sale and they're not willing to give us a price. But if they gave Real Madrid one, I think that's a bit dodge. Bit dodge indeed. Who else do we have? So, wages to revenue ratio. So at the moment, Tottenham Hotspur are top of the wages to revenue as a club, but Manchester United are third in the league. Very good. Good to see that we're in the top 4 for something. Casemiro also came out today with some very inspiring words on the Arsenal game, saying Manchester United always has to think about the victory. I'm not going to say that losing is okay. We have to win. Manchester United always has to win. I think we have shown good moments. And we have played much better. But we have to look for the victory. We are on the right path now. We have a good connection, and that's the path we are taking. So Casemiro is getting all the troops amped up. A loan deal for Camavinga and wait until next season to bring Baleba. Ooh, that's spicy, That's spicy, but Real Madrid don't seem like the type of club to loan out their players all that often. Okay, so oh my god, the transfer window closes in 13 days, by the way, guys. We need to get a midfielder and a goalkeeper in 13 days. Oh my god, I didn't realise it actually closes that soon. What else do we have? Yeah, I'm sorry, lads. I'm here to put a smile on your face, but the Manchester United news is really drying up, especially the transfer news. It's really 50-50 on if we're even going to do any more business. We've got 13 days to offload our players and bring 2 players in. Omar Barada, if he did have any hair left, he'd be pulling it out right now. We need a win on the pitch, or we need some good news to bring the bounce back, because there was a big bounce going into the start of the season, but now it's it feels like there's a bit of a dip with fans and how they're feeling. Okay, so a lot of people asking about Jadon Sancho, wondering what he's actually asking for. But yeah, it's pretty obvious. I mean, Jadon Sancho is literally waiting to just milk the rest of his United contract that he's on like 300k a week for, and then go as a free agent at the end of his contract. Yeah, Talk Sport reporting again, United are unlikely to sign a goalkeeper before the transfer window closes. Andre Onana is expected to be back in goal against Fulham this weekend. Sweet Jesus. Oh, okay. Alexander Isaac. Alexander Isaac is coming out with some quotes now. This is going to be interesting to read. I'll read those to you in a second, guys. We need some good news. 13 days. That's a lucky number. A top 6 spot with a cup will be a very, very good season. I think we're going to struggle with... I think we've seen positive signs, but I think we're going to struggle with top 6 if we don't get a goalkeeper in. If we lose at Craven Cottage, Amarim's in a precarious position. We're so far off. None of our players are close. My best 11 in world football now would be Donnarumma, Nuno Mendes, Virgil van Dijk, Marquinhos, Hakimi, Baleba. It's such a random world 11 niche fan. I'm not going to lie. It's a random one. But let's see if we can get the updates on Garnacho. At least that's some good news that he's going to be leaving soon. So it came out 4 hours ago that Chelsea are not willing to meet Manchester United's 50 mil asking price for Garnacho. And it came out via Sky with them saying that Garnacho is only valued at around 25 million for Chelsea. But Fabrizio Romano did come out earlier today saying Chelsea are advancing in club-to-club talks for Garnacho. Deal underway with Manchester United. Excellent relationship between United CEO, Barada and Chelsea hierarchy. Garnacho only wants Chelsea FC and turned down an approach from Bayern in the last 48 hours. No chance. So yeah, Bayern did try to swoop in for Garnacho last minute, but Garnacho is only set on Chelsea. Oh, man. How is it random? It's a perfectly balanced super team admin. I don't know, niche fan. It's exactly the team we should have. It seems like every player is trying to pull the Sancho move. Wissa, Isaac, lol. This transfer window is the crash out window. It really is. There have been a lot of movements within the Premier League from like just Premier League team to Premier League team. There's been a lot of movement from a lot of players. What else do we have? So the Here We Go is expected soon. Could it come any minute for Garnacho? Garnacho will only be allowed to leave Manchester United if Chelsea pay a total package of 50 million, says Mike Keegan of the Daily Mail. There continues to be a lot of faith in Onana, Bayende and Heaton, with Manchester United staff believing that various data metrics support that judgment. Yeah, the data's wrong. I'm sorry, football nerds. The data is wrong. Onana and Bayende are not good keepers. Brentford Academy director Stephen Torpey is set to replace Nick Cox as the head of United's academy after being handpicked by Jason Wilcox. Interesting, that. So we are getting the Brentford Academy coach for our team. What else do we have? Sekou Kone. We've seen a update on Sekou Kone. For those who didn't know, Sekou Kone did suffer quite a bad head injury while playing against Tamworth under-21s, which led to the game being called off just a week ago. And yeah, we've received an update on him now. So Sekou Kone fractured his eye socket in the collision versus Tamworth, and he will have a scan this week to assess the extent of the damage to his orbital bone. Club insiders are not overly convinced, with one potential option for Kone to play in a face mask in a couple of weeks if he feels comfortable enough to do so, which is a shame for Kone because he was very much on the borderline of joining the squad. So it is a shame for him that he did suffer that eye socket injury. But hopefully he'll be mended in a couple of weeks. What else do we have? Ruben Amorim is taking a keen interest in the progress of JJ Gabriel and is being kept updated by academy staff. During the preseason tour, Amorim was watching clips of the youngster. Okay, JJ Gabriel, someone to watch, lads. You can kill this behaviour by not giving into it. Amen, Ethan. Amen. Someone's got to put up a stand to these players and just let them rot on the bench, man. The thing is with Garnacho, though, is he doesn't understand that he's on 50k a week. Like, that's a drop in the ocean for United compared to Jadon Sancho, who's on 350k. I swear if I ever come face-to-face with Garnacho, man, what a little weasel, what a rat. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Garnacho is mad, really, that he has such disrespect for the club. When all of the fans have got behind him and everything. Like, yeah, he's had his bad moments with the fans, but still, the majority of fans obviously respected him, rated him, raved about him, and then he just goes and just throws his United legacy down the drain. Okay, what else do we have then? So Garnacho close to leaving. Ben Jacobs has come out with some figures. So Garnacho turned down an approach from Bayern today as he waits for Chelsea. Garnacho has already agreed terms with Chelsea. United insisting on £50 million, citing Noni Madueke's fee of £48 million plus £4 million move to Arsenal as the valuation yardstick. Chelsea still trying for less, knowing Manchester United want to sell. Yeah, Chelsea are going to be disappointed when Garnacho is just sitting on the bench for us throughout the next season. I can't believe we gave him the Ronaldo chant. Exactly, man. But yeah, PSV made an offer to sign Harry Mass on a permanent deal. Man United turned this down as they only want a loan deal. Okay. Cunha speaking to Rio Ferdinand, saying that he speaks 5 languages. Big up Matthias Cunha. What else do we have? Chelsea need to pay up for Garnacho, man. I'm tired of this cat and mouse games. Bruno Fernandes created the most chances from open play in the opening game week of the Premier League. Is anyone shocked? That's our captain. And I think that's everything. I think that might be everything. So let's see what Isaac has come out and said. Let's see if we've got any more further updates before we clock off for today. If anyone else has seen anything that you want to discuss about in the chat, get your questions in the chat. I just can't believe that Chelsea actually, like 25 million for Garnacho. That's the same price that we sold McTominay for. Oh, it blows my mind. Okay. Anything else for us? Okay, so just regarding Isaac, guys, for those who want to stay up to date with the Isaac situation, because this thing is absolutely bonkers. Isaac is the chosen one / agent. Request rejected. In the last 48 hours, agents have been throwing all sorts of attacking players at Liverpool, but the Reds have made it clear Alexander Isaac is the only one they want for the long haul. They're in constant talks with Newcastle, waiting for that green light. Ademola Lookman's agents tried to pitch him to the club, but Liverpool are not interested at this stage. It's all about Isaac right now. The club knows what they want. They want to make Isaac's dreams come true. So, it does look like Isaac is almost definitely going to be going to Liverpool. Isaac's also come out with a big, lengthy quote here, guys, which I'll read out in a sec. What was the name of the academy player Amorim is monitoring? I think his name was JJ Gabriel? JJ Gabriel? Yeah, JJ Gabriel. So that's who Amorim is monitoring. But guys, listen to this Alexander Isaac statement because it's quite interesting. Alexander Isaac releases statement. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. I'm proud to be recognised by my fellow professionals with a place in the PFA Premier League Team of the Season for the 24-25 season. First and foremost, I want to thank my teammates and everyone at Newcastle United who has supported me along the way. I'm not at the ceremony tonight with everything going on. It didn't feel right to be there. I've kept quiet for a long time while others have spoken. That silence has allowed people to push their own version of events, even though they know it doesn't reflect what was really said and agreed behind closed doors. The reality is that promises were made and the club has known my position for a long time. To now act as if these issues are only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship can't continue. That's where things are for me right now, and why change is in the best interests of everyone, not just myself. Wow. So, big bombshell from Isaac, pretty much saying that Newcastle have lied in some way and broken promises. That is, I'm not gonna lie, Newcastle are a bit of a banter club right now. Newcastle. If anyone has a Newcastle fan, honestly, I've said this a few times. Check up on them, please, because they are not having a good run of it. JJ Okocha. By the way, the Lookman situation with Atlanta is crazy. They promised him with a gentleman agreement to go to Inter, but at the end, they didn't let him go. I feel like these gentlemen's agreements, like, they just don't actually exist. Like, no one ever sticks to them. As soon as a club thinks, oh yeah, we're not going to get like a lot of money for this, wait a sec, and then they just completely back out on these gentlemen's agreements. I just don't think that they actually exist. The only one that I know actually happened was with Fergie and Cristiano Ronaldo with going to Real Madrid. That's it. But yeah, wow. Alexander Isaac, bombshell there. Fabrizio Romano's also come out recently in the last like half an hour saying, for Garnacho, it's very clear he will not go to any other club. It is Chelsea or stay at Man United. Even if he's out of the squad, for him, this is okay. Staying there and training, see what happens. Yeah, I don't think it's really going to be okay for Garnacho. I think he's going to vape himself to death. Adrien Rabiot will be offered to Manchester United and other clubs before deadline day for 13 to 17 million. It's a hard one with Rabiot because obviously he is an energetic midfielder that we need, but I think he's quite injury prone, isn't he? So I don't know. I'm not too keen on Rabiot. What do you guys think of Rabiot? For 13, 17 million quid. Newcastle owners and management are a bunch of idiots. Rather than fighting with players and targeting big names, they should learn from PSG and how they finally became the best team in Europe. Yeah, Newcastle, they're in the mud. They are in the mud. Gentlemen and ladies, if you are tuning in and you are new to Old Truthford, be sure to hit that subscribe button, join the community, join the chat. We are going to be going live every single evening, covering the latest Manchester United news. And yeah, also we've got glow sticks. 5 years too late for Rabiot. Yep, I agree, Nubis. Yeah, the vape thing seems to go under the radar for whatever reason. Nah, Rabiot is dead. Yeah, I mean, the vape thing, it's kind of cringe, isn't it, really? I mean, he does come across as that type of guy, though. I'm hoping none of you vape. None of you better vape. I mean, otherwise you've got the admin to listen to.
Swinging while.
Okay. Well, lads, we will probably call it a night there. Oh, wow. Indicator has just come out as well saying that Newcastle United officials are furious with Alexander Isak's statement. He needs to be sold. It's embarrassing for everyone concerned. Wow. And Fabrizio Romano saying Alexander Isak makes his move, and it was always clear since July he only wants Liverpool. He doesn't even want to discuss any other option with Newcastle and never considered Al Hilal despite reports. Mo Salah has also been named PFA Player of the Year. Wow. There's a lot of gossip going on. There's a lot of news coming out right now. His mom is the one who ruined his career. Is his mom his agent? Have I remembered that correctly for Rabiot? Rabiot on a free would be okay, not worth a transfer fee. Not even free. His mom is going to ask for outrageous wages. I think he was close to joining United before, wasn't he? But then his mom kind of demanded quite a bit. See, clubs see us as clowns. They all want to give us their dead players. They do, but and they want to give us their dead players, and then they want to sign our star players for 25 mil. But it's up to Barada to see what he can do. I'm sure tomorrow we may get an update on Garnacho, and we'll probably see the here we go, and then people will be posting a bunch of montages on Twitter with like, oh, we thought he was the next Ronaldo, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? But the thing that we need to remember is that Garnacho should be going for at least 40 mil. If he's going for any less than that, Ineos have failed with that transfer and Chelsea have mugged us off. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But for now, folks, I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope you all have a delightful evening. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow when we go live once again. But for now, Godspeed.